You're watching Smart Money with me, Ibrahim Sani. If you are thinking exactly what I am right now, it's all about investing under the new Malaysia Baru. We want to make sure that every penny, every cent that we put into our investments make sense. So here joining me today will be two guests from Bursa Malaysia to discuss all about retail investments. My first guest is Selvarani Rasyah, the Chief Commercial Officer of Bursa Malaysia. I ask her the whole notion of retail investors in this country and where we are heading with this segment of the market.
Okay, the retail investor segment is a very important segment to the Malaysian capital market, alongside the participation of domestic institutional investors as well as foreign investors. Presently, the retail investors actually constitute about 17% of the total trading value in our market, right? And retail investors, of course, through their participation, provide our Malaysian companies with the much needed capital, right, to grow their businesses, hence fueling economic growth. At the same time, through their participation in the capital market, they actually have the opportunity to similarly grow their wealth. Participation of retail in the market is obviously important for market vibrancy. And in that sense, at Bursa Malaysia, we do have a very strong focus in growing retail participation in the market. In the last 2 years, the retail participation in our marketplace has actually grown at the rate of approximately 24% per annum. So this is certainly very encouraging. In our retail initiatives, we see ourselves as contributing towards the growth of financial literacy, as well as growing the growth of retail wealth in the marketplace.
Let's focus on some of the efforts that is being implemented by Bursa Malaysia in growing the retail participation.
Firstly, we seek to ensure that we have an attractive product offering for the retail investors. So to that extent, we do have an attractive product offering which we continue to, of course, enhance. So to that extent, retail investors have an opportunity to invest not only on the existing products, but also on new products as well as new IPOs as they come along. Now, secondly, we seek to ensure that investors who invest in our market are actually provided with easy access for trading, as well as supporting services to enable them to trade in an effective manner. We actually undertake significant amount of education as well as marketing, both by ourselves as well as through the brokers, in order to grow the retail participation in the marketplace. So investors actually have ample opportunity, right, to find out more about these initiatives through the initiatives that we undertake. Obviously, anyone who invests in the market wants to ensure that they are afforded adequate levels of investor protection. So to that extent, at the exchange, we have a very strong focus, right, in growing, in ensuring rather that investors who invest in the market are afforded with adequate level of investor protection. The World Bank actually rated Malaysia as 4th in terms of its investor protection, and we are no short of international assessments that have been undertaken on the Malaysian market, in all of which we have done well. Our rules are actually benchmarked to the international standards of market regulation. So anyone who invests in products in the Malaysian market, right, can be assured that they are actually investing in a well-regulated market. Last but not least, right, we have a very strong focus in ensuring that we bring retail investors into the market in a very responsible manner, right? So to that extent, right, we actually strongly advocate investor education as a prerequisite to investing in the marketplace. So we actually at the exchange have a lot of programs in place, both online as well as on the ground programs. Some we do on our own, some with the brokers, in order to actually spread awareness as well as knowledge about investing in the market. So we've got a very good investor portal which is called Bursa Marketplace, which is really a one-stop portal where there's a lot of information that's available for investors irrespective of the stage that they're at. So there's something there for everyone, for the beginners, the intermediate, as well as the savvy investors. So we invite investors to come and take a look at Bursa Marketplace, where people can actually learn, try and apply. We even have a simulator game, so you can literally try trading before you go on and try the real trading in itself. Yeah. So we strongly actually encourage investors, right, to take a look at both the online as well as on the ground education programs that we have, and the information on this is actually available at Bursa Marketplace.
All right, let's talk about some of the challenges that Bursa Malaysia and other players are facing in growing the retail participation.
Based on our own, assessment, right, as well as surveys that we have done, lack of awareness, lack of knowledge, as well as perception that investment in the stock market is very risky, holds back retail participation in the marketplace. But in reality, right, as you would be aware, there's a wide range of products which are available, right, in the marketplace. So there are different types of portfolios that retail investors can actually have, depending on their own investment goals, their investment horizon, as well as their risk appetite. So what we would strongly advocate is for retail investors to overcome these sort of lack of knowledge as well as perceptions. They should actually find out more about investing in the stock market through the various programs, educations that we have. Indeed, there is actually a lot of opportunity for retail investors in the market. The only way that retail investors can actually find out is actually to learn about the basics of investing. So when you learn the basics of investing, right, then certainly you can manage your risks better as well. So in investing in the stock market, right, it is important for investors to do so based on investment. Informed investment is key to successful investment in the marketplace. There is a lot of actually guidance that is available in the marketplace. For example, we have a lot of research reports, but one cannot blindly rely on the research reports in themselves and invest in the market. It's important that irrespective of the information that is being provided to you, that you are in a position to be able to assess and make that sound decision. Hence, we will strongly advocate investors to learn more, irrespective of the stage that you're at. If you're an intermediate, maybe you want to learn and become more savvy.
To tell us more about the products made available to retail investors, I speak to Matze Osman, the Director of Securities Market at Bursa.
At Bursa Malaysia, we continuously try to innovate new products that can meet the demand for all retail investors in the market. As you know, we have a suite of products that are available on the exchange. We have about over 900 stocks that's listed on the exchange. We also have REITs, amounting to 18 REITs listed. We also have what we call exchange traded funds, or popularly known as ETFs, 10 of them. And we also have structured warrants, for instance, over 600 structured warrants listed on the exchange, and also exchange traded bonds, which is something that actually available for investors who wants to have exposure into the fixed income, but it's listed on the exchange. So I think for us, we feel that having the product variety is very important, because we, as an exchange, we do see that this would be good, that we can offer something for everyone in the market. And the main thing here is that investors will have options of instruments that they can choose from, depending on their risk appetite, depending on their investment horizon, depending on what kind of strategies they want to adopt. So it actually can range from the beginners up to advanced investors. And it can be divided further by a different segment of each asset class. For instance, like stocks, you have dividend yield stocks, you have growth stocks, or you have some kind of value stocks that's available. So again, it depends on what kind of investment strategies, objective, and appetite that the investors would have in their portfolio, for instance, if they want to start investing.
Could you describe to us a little bit about the differences between Shariah investing and non-Shariah investing or conventional investments?
I think the main thing, the difference here is actually the principle behind it. For Shariah products, particularly because you know that it has to be in line, comply with the Shariah principle. Three main things. So I would say that one is on the as far as companies are concerned, operation-wise, they do not involve into any forbidden activities. We also do not include any riba. As you know, this is a form of interest that companies actually will gain or actually offer that kind of services to in their operations. And also what we call is gara or uncertainties. I think this is basically the three main tenets, but of course there are more to it that actually differentiate as opposed to the conventional side. But the main thing here, what we would like to stress is actually it's just a way of investing on the Shariah compliant products, which is to say that this is in line with ethical investment, sustainable and responsible investing, for sure. It doesn't mean that Shariah investing, actually, I think this is some of the common misconception is that some people believe that it's only allowed for the Muslim investors. It's actually allowed for everyone actually. It's just a matter of how you feel that the way how you want to actually do investment, where Shariah investing actually provide you as a platform for that.
Let's talk about the upcoming event, the Shariah Investing Fair. Could you share with us a little bit about this event?
Sure. This is actually our second year of having this event. Our inaugural event was actually held last year in November 2017, where it was pleasantly, it was a good surprise for us because we managed to actually attract more than 10,000 visitors. So for this year, we're having it in this coming weekend on 21st and 22nd of July at the KLCC Convention Center, Hall 1. And it's open to the public from 9 AM to 7 PM for both days. And the admission is free. I think this is quite interesting for any investors or the public who actually want to know more about investment. This is a good event for us to actually having a greater outreach to investors to know about Shariah investing as well as investment in general. So we have close to about 40 booths that are going to be held up during the event, and this range from the brokers, the financial institutions, takaful operators, fund management companies, some government agencies, as well as public listed companies. So it's a good mix of different exhibitor where investors can actually learn more about investment as well as their ability to actually learn and understand more about share investing. So we also have a series of speakers that will actually give talks during those 2 days of events. I think 4 main speakers that I'm talking about here is actually these are opinion leaders. These are Bursa Malaysia, some of the talks or workshops that we have, we actually engage them. We also have Haji Muhammad Asri, quite a well-renowned speaker when it comes to Shariah investing. We have a very general speaker of Dr. Nazri Han, one of the Bursa Malaysia's opinion leaders. So obviously there are talks that actually can provide more knowledge and input, to share more knowledge and input about Shariah investing. And to us, I think the main thing here is that we would like to send a message out to the public about the concept of investing and savings, and this is quite an appropriate place for investors to actually know more about it. And there are a few activities that we also have for families. For instance, we try to make it a bit more of a family affair. This is actually another way for us to actually educate people at a young age about saving and investment to get themselves familiarized. So another key highlights I would say in terms of the opening of CDS account during this 2-day period, we will waive actually the CDS account opening fee for those who actually open a new CDS account with the brokers that actually participate. So there will be about 9 brokers where if you actually open up your accounts on those 2 days, you will be waived for the CDS fee. And of course, on top of this, maybe perhaps just to also share that you also have about a month left for those first new investors who first time they open their CDS account, because the trading that you actually will carry out the next 2 months will be waived in terms of your trading fee.
And of course, if there are retail investors right now willing to learn more about this information, where do they go to?
Okay, the best place for them to go to is actually Bursa Marketplace, right? So you go on to www.bursamarketplace.com, right? That is actually our investor portal. There is actually investor education information there, and there are also actually a lot of tools there to guide investors on investing. And as I mentioned earlier, there is also a simulation game that they can go on to. There's also information about brokers, etc. So there's indeed a comprehensive one-stop portal that people can actually use in order to familiarize themselves with the marketplace. I mean, we would like Malaysians to consider, right, investment in the stock market as part of their lifestyle and as part of their asset allocation in order to grow their wealth. I'm sure you are fully aware that through investments in the stock market, the dividends that people receive, retirees have had comfortable lives. People have been able to fund their children's education, to the capital appreciation that they've made through investment in the stocks. So there is actually ample opportunity for investors to actually invest in a profitable manner. Now at Bursa, we are here to go through the investment journey with you. So we'd like to ask you to stay connected with us and take advantage of the opportunities that the market offers. We certainly hope to be able to see you this weekend at our Sharia Investing Fair.
If you want to find out more about the Sharia Investing Fair or more about Bursa Malaysia, just head on to their websites. For now, this is Ibrahim Sani signing off. Thank you very much.